Here that we're going to enlarge triangle T with a scale factor 2.5. Bit nasty. Center of enlargement is this point here, and usually the easiest way to enlarge a shape is to move one corner. So I'm going to start with this corner here. And if I look at how to get to that corner here, I could go directly in this direction, and I'm going to be multiplying that distance by 2.5. Slightly easier, though, is to think what this distance is. Now, that distance is 6 units from there to there. And if I do 6 multiplied by 2.5, then 6 times 2.5 is 12. That comes out as 15. So I know that the new corner, instead of being 6 units to the right of the center of enlargement, is going to be 15 units. So I know that the new corner is going to be somewhere here. If I now go in an upward direction, I know that it's 4 units up. So instead of being 4 units up, so here we have our 4 units, instead of being 4 units up above the 15, I'm going to do 4 multiplied by 2.5, and 4 times 2.5 is 10. So in other words, I know that this corner here, let's call it corner A, instead of going 6 units to the right and 4 up, is going to be 15 units to the right and 10 up. So that corner A is now there. I'm going to call it A dash. Now I know the position of one corner. I also know that the new shape is going to be exactly 2.5 times taller and 2.5 times wider. But this is the bottom right-hand corner. So instead of being 4 units high, it's actually going to be 10 units high. So let's just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the new corner, let's call that corner B. B is now there. Let's call that B dash. And let's have a look at this corner here. Now this corner here was 2 units to the left of A. It's now going to be 2.5 times 2 units to the left, or 2.5 times 2 is 5. So instead of this being 2 units, it's now 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the new corner C is actually there. If I now get my ruler out, I'm going to join up those corners. So C to A, and then B to A, and then like that. Now what you can do, an alternative way of doing that, is to choose one of the corners. So let's say I choose corner A. You have to do this very carefully with your ruler though. You have to get your ruler. I'm going to do it here. Look at the distance from there to there. Multiply that distance by 2.5, and it will take you to there. And again, then just draw in the rest of the triangle. It's a bit risky. Another way of doing it is to go through C, multiply by 2.5, to go through B, multiply that distance by 2.5. As long as you do it carefully and accurately, you'll get the right triangle. But I think the easiest way to do it is by looking at counting squares across and up. Anyway, coordinates, the final coordinates that you should have then, B dashed is there at that point, which is 15, 20. A dashed is at 15, 10. And C dashed is at 10, 10.